I'm moving house today. It's been 2 years, 8 months and 28 days, and I've got to say that as I step off the bus for what could be the last time spent as sitting in your boss supermarket queues, etc. And I have to say though, it's only today that I'm glad to be leaving. I really will miss the when Santa.
Listening to truthconduit.com with Chris McMillan.
And I'm glad I could have been of service with you, pushing you down that path. But yeah, shoot with any questions that you have, because I've got obviously here and then this family in Italy too that I can tell you about.
Well, what's going on in Italy? That's what we're all curious about, because I don't know anybody in Italy.
Well, I can tell you what's... Well, hold on. I can tell you what's in Italy. So my sister's there right now. She got trapped. She went to see her boyfriend, and she's there.
What city?
She's in Lucca. They're in Lucca.
Okay.
Tuscany. And that's where my family's from. And I'll tell you, my cousin's got the coronavirus. And because my aunt had the coronavirus and she died. She's just about 8. She was about to turn 80. She went into hospital and she died. Now, they said she had it. I'm pretty sure she was tested for it. But because she died, my cousin was obligated to take a test. And she has no symptoms, not one. But she's got it. And so she got a letter from the lawyer and from, I think, the police saying she's not allowed out.
Wow.
Because, yeah.
How old's your cousin?
She's 23.
Okay.
And my sister was stopped with her man there the other day. And they said, look, in Lombardy, they're allowed to go out 200 meters. But now where she is, in Lucca, she's on the outskirts of Lucca, though. Not
your
right
sister
in the
is, yeah?
Yeah, not right in the city center. And they said that they prefer that they don't even go out at all. Or be very close. So today she said she was jogging in a very short distance from her house and she just saw the same people doing the same thing going around and around because you can't go further out because the police did warn her. I know that if you want to go out in Italy, you get, I guess you have to get a certificate. Yeah, you have to get a certificate. Like when you go to the supermarket, you have to get a certificate online and you can only go in the supermarket in your town. And, so, yeah, you have to do that to go out, to go food shopping. And I think you can only go out once a week for food shopping. And they do give you... Sorry?
Only 3 people at a
Oh,
time.
yeah, like one person at a time.
One
I think
person in each family.
one person in each family, yep. And
My
I
goodness.
think you have to... I think they give you gloves before you go in and a mask.
You have to wear a mask when you go out.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you have to wear a mask when you go up. But when you go to the supermarket, I'm quite sure she said they give you gloves.
Wow.
The
So
gloves
I didn't
out.
realize your sister was also, because she's from Boston as well, your sister. So was
Yeah.
did she happen to be in Italy when all this went down? Did she mean to be there at this
Yeah.
time, or is she stuck there?
She went
Well,
to,
she was aware of it, though.
she was aware when she went over, she was aware like that, the coronavirus, because she works in a hospital in Georgia. But she went over to see her boyfriend and they were going to be in Milan because that's where he was going to study. And then he went up there for a day, they went back and then they closed Milan. And she was coming to visit us, but then they closed Italy. And so she kind of got stuck. Like she got in a couple of days before.
Wow. So
she...
I'm really sorry to hear about your aunt. Yeah. When did that happen?
Oh, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And
did she was 80, so did she have any other conditions? Because the stories coming out now is someone dies for anything there, and if they happen to have coronavirus, they're counting that as towards the statistics. So there's a lot of questions being raised about...
Yes, she did have an underlying health issue because she was in and out of hospital for the last 3 years.
Like she hurt her, like she fell and she hurt her back. So she was in bedridden for a while. So she was walking with a cane. She was completely, I mean, I don't want my cousins to hear this, but she was very exhausted because she did a lot of work in the house. Because like my cousin lived there with her husband, my aunt's husband. And
she certainly didn't look healthy.
She didn't look healthy.
Gosh.
She was always on the, she was always like she never sat down, but the last year that I've tried to call my cousins, like, oh, she's in bed today or she's sleeping. And she was never like that before. She was always, she's always doing the cooking and everything, but she never left the house. She never, ever left the house. And she looked exhausted. And she was these past couple of years. Yeah, like I said, she hurt herself quite badly and she was bedridden for a while. And then she was bedridden again. And I don't know why. And she looked exhausted. And my cousin now, I don't know if this is true. One of my other cousins said something like she probably had heart issue. There's never, they think like maybe my other cousin just kind of said that, like she died, maybe it had to do with her heart. But I can't say that she had a heart issue, but she was definitely not.
She needed to go out.
She was always washing dishes, doing clothes. She made all the meals, always sweeping, but she was, dark circles, dragging.
That seems to be, confirm it's true. Whoever gets this, the people that don't do well with it are older with underlying conditions, but the younger and stronger you are, no problem. I mean, and so, it's very interesting.
But I have to say, everybody living in that house with her, they were all ill.
Yeah.
Now they all got tested because my cousin got tested, and she was there for like a week and had left, and then came to England, and then she went back, and she went to live in a different house. But her sister was ill, and she feels like she had it. And her mom was ill, which was my aunt's daughter, and the husband was ill. But they just all got tested about 2 weeks ago, and none of them have it. But my cousin, who's like doesn't have any symptoms.
But they were all in the same household?
They were all in the same household. And my uncle...
How could they not have it if it's as contagious as they say? Interesting.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe they tested them when they were all ill. They were all ill.
Oh, okay.
They were all ill, except they just only tested them about a week and a half ago.
I think they tested them because the mother died.
Yeah.
One person from the household died, and they thought maybe it's worth checking, I suppose.
Exactly.
That's probably, and by the time they tested, they probably were better, They must have had it, and then they got better. It's very possible. Very plausible. But,
exactly. They tested negative, but
I think there's a lot of scaremongering going on.
They tested negative, but like I said, one of those people, she was only in the house a week, left, went back to England, and she has got it, but you don't see any signs.
Yeah.
So do you understand? It's like two. So there's that she's living separately, but the whole family was tested, and they said that they're negative. So I think, it must have left them before they got the test.
Yeah. And what's the situation now? Are they all getting better, getting through it? I've heard Italy's finally stabilizing.
My sister said that it's trickling. They're getting less cases. My uncle said to me, now they are getting younger people now. That's what he said to me. He said it like it was like a wipeout. It was like a massacre for the older people.
My goodness.
Yeah.
What are they saying as far as quarantine lifting? Are they going to make any announcements soon, like ease the restrictions? And is there any word about that?
My auntie believes that they'll carry on until the end of the month.
My sister said they're talking about maybe starting to open things in May, but they haven't said anything for sure.
They said
because I know in Spain. Well, in Spain, this coming Saturday, they're going to make, quote unquote, an announcement. Who knows what they're going to say, whether they're going to extend it or make it worse or maybe just ease the restrictions. We don't know. My goodness.
Well, what about states? I'd like to know about states. Is it state basis or is it, how does it work?
Yeah, it goes it goes state by state.
So what about where you are now? Is it fully locked down like here or
in the cities? Yeah. Not nearly as strict though. I mean, for example, essential businesses are quite flexible. You know, the liquor stores are open, the hardware stores are open, the construction's still going on. So it depends on the city, though. I know New York's quite different. Los Angeles, Seattle, where I'm at near Dallas, it's on lockdown. But they have taken measures, but it doesn't sound nearly as strict as in Europe right now. I'm very interested in following these countries that are not following any restrictions, you know, like Sweden, 3 in particular, Sweden, Nicaragua, and Belarus. You know, Nicaragua, there's football matches tomorrow. So if you're desperate to watch some football, you know, you got to tune into Nicaragua. And they have I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see. And I'm glad they're doing this because you can compare, is it worth the lockdown or not? I mean, because the economic impact of all this. There's just so many unknown factors going on. It's just all we can do is observe and, and keep our eyes and ears open. But to be honest, from my point of view, I'm out in rural Texas and there's not much change out here. Technically, we're on a lockdown, but and I know people who yeah, and people who have who work in supermarkets and things like that. They have a letter they have to carry around. If they get stopped, I've never heard of anybody getting stopped. I'm sure there are. I know there are checkpoints coming into Texas from New Orleans, okay? If you drive from New Orleans to Houston on I-10, there's a checkpoint now. I know there are other checkpoints within the U.S. I don't know where they are. They're all at. But the horror stories we're getting coming from the U.K. now is it's like 1984 there. I mean, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's drones in the sky yelling at you, telling you to social distance and all that. Yeah. So what's going on where you guys are at in Brighton?
Not where we are, but some cities, it has been reported the police have gone further than they should have. Yeah, you're right. I think that's some accurate assessment. And the police are demanding that they should be granted a lot more power, which they have been given. I mean, I don't know whether it's a good thing. I certainly don't think they should have let here too, it's the same. Statistically, much older people who have had health issues, they are affected tremendously.
Do you guys know anybody directly or indirectly who's been affected there in where you live? In the area?
Yeah, almost neighbors got it, and I guess he went to sleep in the shed. Like the police came to him. Almost neighbor.
Who slept in the shed?
Almost neighbor, which is not far, about 10 minutes from here by car.
Yeah.
What?
My friend Angela's dad got it.
Yeah. And then my daughter Isla, one of our friends, his dad got it, but he lives in London, but he's fine.
He just didn't eat or drink.
Yeah, but he's indoors. There was something on like mom has. He's better now. Yeah, these people have healed. Isla's friend's dad healed. He lives in London and he's getting better. I
don't know.
So almost to that, I've got my homeopath. Her aunt and uncle got it, but they got it in America. They went to America. They went to a book fair, came back and got it. I brought it back with them.
What I can tell you is I went to work on Monday, gardening work, and the lady who I worked for, her daughter-in-law works in Brighton Hospital. She's a nurse.
Yeah, what'd she say?
And according to her, there's 53 people are infected so far in that hospital. So that's all I know as far as I'm concerned around here. But other than that, it's probably mostly London and Midlands, like Manchester, Liverpool, and what is Birmingham. Those cities are, I think, a lot more serious than down here.
And is everything shut down? Can you, like, if you wanted to go to a restaurant, are the restaurants closed, or is it only takeaway?
The restaurants shut, pubs are shut, The only thing that's open, the supermarket. The cafes are shut.
The chemist is open in some
The pharmacy, they're open. Supermarkets are open. And, in this country, they usually have like individual small shops and things like that. They're shut. So really, just the big supermarket and few hardware shops. And I think the Halford, they sell bicycle, things like that. If you order online, that you could go pick up. That's about it.
And Amazon comes.
Amazon is running, of course.
So the restaurants can't, not even a takeaway, nothing? No pizza delivery or anything like that?
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, you just have to phone them on. Right.
And some butchers are starting to do like that kind of stuff.
Home delivery, yeah.
Home deliveries are starting to do that.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah. There was someone, because there's a thing called Haseks Moms and Dads, which he was going on, he works in a hospital, and he's like, look, I want you to take this seriously, but I couldn't read it because it made me nervous. But one guy posted about like the health service here, and he said he felt he had some symptoms, so he called, and they go, no, it's not it. And then they call him, they call him back, and they said, okay, we want to see you. So he had to drive down to like the little health center, wait in his car. And then this man, he said, that looked like an alien came out to test him. So I guess he must have been all like wrapped up in his. Yeah. And they tested him, and it turned out that he had like some maybe a little bit of bronchitis and pollen. But he was very happy with the service. But that's how they're like, no, actually, those are the symptoms. Come meet us here. Wait in the car park. We'll come out. And they came out, tested him in the car, all wrapped up. So that was the service he got in our town. And that was like a week ago, because he posted that.
And what about your friend that has it? Is he doing okay?
Hold on. It's a friend of a friend. I don't know. He just said that the ambulance came. Like my friend's aunt said that the ambulance had to come out a few times. And this guy, he just said, I think the ambulance came and they said he has, sleep in the shed away from the family. So he went out into the shed.
Okay.
But I don't know. I haven't heard.
What's it like when you go to the supermarket? What's it like when you go to the supermarket? Are they limiting how many people can go in? Are they?
He works one, so he can.
Yeah, I do supermarket. I work in supermarket part time.
Okay.
So I am off this week.
Yeah.
I'll be back at the supermarket on Monday. Anyways, there's usually queue, and they have some kind of lines that says 2 meters. So mostly people are obeying, but the problem is once you get into the supermarket, you could hardly retain 2 meters because everyone tossing around trying to get things,
Yeah.
But it looks like they're doing something. Big supermarket anyway. The smaller one?
You probably heard about the toilet paper shortage in the U.S. Is it the same in the UK?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the first thing that was shortage was toilet paper here, and
I don't know. It's weird.
One elderly gentleman came up to me while I was working. I've been here 6 times, no toilet rolls, and I said, I am sorry. You would have to come 6 o'clock in the morning. So now the supermarket started open 8 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. But that lasted for 4 to 5 days, and then it's got better. And they limited how many toilet rolls you can purchase at one time.
Yeah, same here. In the States, it's limited per item. The stores are open. You can go in, walk around, but they say limit, per like milks and meat and eggs, limited per item.
Yeah. More the essential items, and they've done the same thing here. Like you cannot buy more than 3 cans of baked beans, for example, or the chickpeas or things like that. No more than 3 packs of pasta or things like that.
Have you heard any?
Pardon?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, have you heard any stories of people breaking up people in the town or even arresting people?
No.
That hasn't happened so far here, but it has happened somewhere in the country. It's been reported that people have been arrested or given fine on the spot who are not obeying the law and, things like that.
Okay.
But not where we are. I guess around here they consider themselves civilized, not that I think of. Middle class, mostly they work in London and things like that.
Can I say
Yes.
two things? Sorry, my cousin in Italy said she texted me. This is in South. She goes, people are fighting over detergents and things because in Southern Italy they're really clean, and she's just like, we're all fighting. It's war over antibacterial stuff. And I'll tell you what, I've had a hard time getting because I'm like the health kick. So vitamins, like zinc lozenges. I called. There's a place that I go to, and they're not even taking calls anymore because they can't fill orders for like zinc, vitamin C. It's like the natural dispensary it's called, and they've just stopped. You can't get anything on their website or you can't get through because they've just overloaded. And I use homeopathy as well. And they say things like, if you order so much, it's going to, you'll have to wait quite a few days. And I just was able to get vitamin C again because it just goes like that. Because everyone knows vitamin C, vitamin D to get that. And I was trying to get kids vitamins. I managed to get them, just no everyday vitamins. But like this,
and is it because they sell out so quickly?
Because of what's happening, yeah.
Okay.
Because they're saying because of this, the global crisis, we have now stopped taking phone calls and stopped taking web orders because we cannot pack everything quick enough. And then everything is gone. Like, I ordered vitamin. I had to pre-order zinc and I put on a waiting list. Lozenges, and then the vitamin. Now I can't even get through to them to get the vitamin C. I managed to get it at a homeopathic chemist, but I had to wait like a week before I could even order what they had, which is a limited type, but it's still. But I was able to get it. But it's just because everyone has been told vitamin C and zinc lozenges are great, and vitamin D. So anyone who's into any kind of alternative medicine, they know, and that's what they're going for.
Well, as far as vitamin D, at least we're coming into spring now, so you can just step outside when the sun comes out.
When the sun comes out. It's been really nice the last 2 days, or all week, but the last 2 days we've been short.
It's actually, the nicer the weather, the more torturous this is. You know what I mean? Because if it's miserable outside, you'd want to stay home anyway. But my goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about the schools then? What are they saying? Is there any projection of when they might open up again at all there in the UK?
We haven't heard anything. They haven't said anything. I'm kind of for homeschooling, Chris. So my kids have totally changed since they've been home, more relaxed and all that. So I'm glad the schools are closed.
Yeah,
I think they need to. The kids.
Personally, me too. Yeah, I mean that. If there's a silver lining in all this, it's all the kids will get a taste of what freedom is like. Well, freedom from school anyway.
Freedom.
No,
Well,
my kids. We've never been to school, never will. But unless when they're older, they want to.
Are you homeschooling your kids?
Oh yeah, we always have. Yeah.
See, I've been trying. This has been an argument for 13 years. I always. My kids
but the reason I ask about the schools is it is an indication of the situation, because once sports start going on again and the schools reopen, that is a sure sign that things are starting to happen again. So I know in Spain, I think they're still hoping to reopen the schools by the end of May, I believe.
But they start again in June. The classes end in June, so I can't imagine they would.
Yeah, they would probably. I think one of Marie's students told them they would probably just go straight to exams. But I don't know. Here in Texas, they're saying the beginning of May, but I don't believe that. I think they're going to extend that. So believe it when I see it, kind of thing. That's. I'm glad you guys are in a really good place. You're in a relaxed small town, and in fact, you're in a smaller town outside of a smaller town. So that's great.
You go for walks. It's very quiet, but there's a field, and we go out for walks, and we see the police cars come by a few times, but nothing's been, nothing. Yeah. I mean, seen a police car drive by, but that's it. We can go. We have to do the spatial distancing and no more than 2 people walking together, but you do see a family of 3 or 4, and you do see some people on bikes.
Yeah.
Out here, and we're in like these fields around us, so we can walk, but Bugo's walking for hours every day, and nothing's happened in the fields.
Yeah. And if you're part of the same household, it doesn't matter. You're all spreading it, did you hear the story? It was going around in New York City. This couple who lived together were sitting on the curb together. The cop said, "You've got to separate." And they said, "But we live together." It doesn't matter. If you don't separate, I'm going to fine you, So, and then, other stories going around of cops arresting people and they don't have any masks or gloves on, the cops themselves. So, there are questions being raised. Is this really about containing the virus, or is it just about control?
Walking down the street, the children play. For them, it's just another day. The future's reflected in their parents' faces, who chose to stay on in this place where they were born, went to school, got married, and kids like their grandparents before them did. Got to escape, before it's too late. Although today I could say that I really will miss the when Santa. Well, yeah, I was right. Knew what it was like when Santa.
You've been listening to truthconduit.com with Chris McMillan. Go to the subscribe page and sign up to get notifications of the latest posts. And check out the support page to help keep it going.
Yeah, I've got a friend in Jesus Christ. I've got a friend in Jesus Christ, and Krishna and Buddha and my bartender.